You're listening to an Awkward Human podcast on the 5x5 network. If you want to find out more about this show and all the other cool stuff that we do, visit awkwardhuman.com. Hello and welcome to the Awkward Human Survival Guide. This week we're talking about
organically-scented resumes,
strangers in the absence of benefits,
and musty puss.
Hello and welcome to the episode. I'm Adam Dotchis.
I'm Erica Elson. It's a hot, steamy Sunday here in Los Angeles.
It's way cooler than it was.
And we're joined by RC and DH.
Don't like that.
It's too hot for full names today.
Well,
it's not that hot.
I mean, she did yoga in it for an hour, so I think she probably...
she was indoors.
You were indoors?
Yeah.
Oh,
that has been years since we've done it outdoors.
You then.
I walked over, and in my walk over, I almost passed out from how hot it was.
You know, when I was
almost passed out.
When I was outside
you should go to a neurologist.
It actually wasn't that hot and steamy now that I think about it. I think I'm going to side with the guys.
How long were you outside for?
6 minutes.
Yeah, it's
today?
not long enough.
It's long enough to get hot.
Why did you leave the house?
To walk the dog.
Oh, excuse me for living.
What?
Well, what a response.
Walking the dog is
Why
not
did
living?
you leave the house? Oh, to walk the dog. Like, I know your comings and goings and how you walk the dog.
Well, the assumption that I had to have no reason to leave the house, I think, is more of an insult.
Is it outside the realm of possibility that you would never leave the house in a day?
No, of course not, but it's very unlikely.
Exactly.
Anyways.
No, it's very unlikely that I wouldn't leave
the house.
Yeah, even yesterday was a day where I basically didn't move, and I still was outside.
What were you doing outside?
Walking the dog.
Oh, my God. We need to move on. This is too awkward.
Yeah, let's move on. So here today we have a new product that we're reviewing by FiberFix. It is called...
You had to reread that. We just had like a 7-minute discussion.
Total Glue. As you may know, we have been reviewing products lately, and you can win them. But for some reason, you have not been participating in our contests.
Yeah, so we're going to just make this contest easier, both of them.
Millennials.
I don't...
You're contest shaming people.
And Gen Z.
Gen Z. What about Gen Z?
I don't know.
Gen Z, if you're out there and you want some glue,
I would like to think that baby boomers listen.
Yeah, we know baby boomers listen.
I'm not blaming them, though.
Oh, okay.
But what about the greatest generation?
Anyway,
World War II generation.
They're still alive.
I think so.
They're the only generation that got a
barely.
good name. I want to know what they did.
Baby boomers isn't terrible.
No, but they're like
But it reminds me of
criticized.
Gen X is a hip name. It makes me think of torn up newspapers for ransom notes.
But the greatest generation
music
didn't
and
get shit on.
It makes me think of X-Men. So.
Well, anyway,
Gen
makes me
X,
think of
Generation
maybe
X.
this is why no one submits to the contest, because we never get to the point. But
You can win some glue.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and you can still win this wonderful camping blanket that is actually in the other room now that I think about it. Yeah, which we don't know anything about the glue yet, so this is not a dig on the glue here, but the blanket is a really high quality, expensive item that you should want. So
if you don't win it, we're going to cut it up.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
We don't have it. They're going to send it to them directly, so they don't have to wait for me to
cut
do
up
it.
our sample. I'll cut up the sample without Adam's permission.
Richard doesn't like it, but I do.
But we did.
Well, that's why nobody wants to win it.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just said I wouldn't
killed the
sleep
blanket.
with it.
You wouldn't sleep with the blanket.
I wouldn't sleep with. I would use it like at an outdoor theater or something.
Yeah.
Like that's what I would use it for. But I wouldn't actually use it to sleep in.
What we
nor would I.
decided is that instead of challenging people to write a blanket story, which apparently no one has a blanket story.
That's very specific.
Requires
Yeah.
a lot of work too.
I don't know. I could think of a blanket story.
I could think of one if I really wanted.
And they were allowed to make it up if they wanted to. So anyway, I don't know.
Clearly, we've proven that our listener base is not creative. Aloha.
Well, I mean,
Aloha.
we don't know.
Aloha.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke, but I mean, like,
But it's
wouldn't know
also-
one way or the other.
It's also somewhat true, as most jokes are. Aloha.
But since that's a big time commitment, it
That's what they
seems, from
say.
everybody. And in the past, when we've requested that you review something on iTunes, I think we
got like one or two.
No, but one of you came up with this. So I want to give you the credit where
Richard.
credit is due. Richard came up with this. That in exchange for an iTunes review, which can be bad, we'd prefer it wasn't, but we're not going to.
Why would you even plant that seed?
Well, no, because they're not going to.
We want an objective, honest review. We don't want like
some hotshot looking to prove. Some hotshot looking to like make his or her name on the review scene is going to now write the most like scathing thing just to be like, I'm a hot shot.
I mean, you can write whatever you want as long as it's 5 stars.
I can totally see someone doing it.
Let's do that. Let's do this. Okay, so you send in a review or send in a question. Not a comment though. But send in a question or a review, and if you do that, just make a note that you want to win the blanket and or the glue.
Chances are you'll win it because you're going to be the only one submitting yourself.
Say, I'm entering into the contest.
Can one person get the blanket and the glue? Because that sounds dangerous.
No.
They might get stuck in the blanket.
Well, because we want to send it to more people. But we'll do the blanket, glue, and then I'll send a sticker pack as a runner-up. So we'll have 3 winners. And whoever all you have to do is send something in or review the show. But if you review the show, you have to send us something to let us know that the review is there, because sometimes we don't see them and we wouldn't know how to get a hold of you otherwise. So just go to let's put that on the screen for those watching. awkward.email. I don't know why I had to remember that. You can also go on awkwardhuman.com. I think there's a contact page on there. But anyway, write into the show and send it to questions@awkwardhuman.com. And yeah.
Can I offer an alternative suggestion? I know you just put this one forward. Maybe if people draw Blanket Michael Prince Michael Jackson II.
Wait,
Michael Jackson's 3rd child. Blanket.
Are there photos of him or do we have to make it up?
No, they're out there.
Yeah, that's okay too.
After he died, he wore a ponytail.
They could still send in a blanket story or an awkward glue story for all I care. I just would
love a Blanket Jackson tie-in.
Yeah,
he hasn't gotten press since he was dangled over a balcony in Germany by the deceased Michael Jackson.
Right. Yeah. Well, so if anyone wants to send that,
or as memes would have you believe, he was trying to sacrifice the baby for the soul stone.
Well, I choose to believe those memes.
I don't think he was that ahead of the time. Yeah. Well, anyway, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. If you do something...
Just do something.
Yeah, do something.
Apathy is...
Get off your ass and do something.
Do something and say, I want to win in the thing that you send us.
Let's just review this thing now.
And then we will send it to you. You don't have to send your address until you win, but you do have to send us some place to send this thing eventually if you do win. So you can do it preemptively, or you can wait until we contact you, but make sure we can get a hold of you. Otherwise, your winning entry will be...
Go nowhere.
Yeah. That. Okay, so
we're gonna
find out if this glue is as good as they say it is.
So we're gonna do all the steps live on the show for you, so you can see, and it's not just us giving maybe a false review or something. You're gonna have all the information.
You can go to youtube.com/awkwardhuman if you want to actually see this. If you're just listening,
be careful.
But if you haven't seen it yet, we've been showing the glue on the video. And it's from Fiberfix, and it's called Total Repair, but they're kickstarting a different one. This is an earlier version.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. It's just called Total Glue now.
Well, it's not a little bit different?
We don't really know.
Yeah.
But look for Total Glue.
They didn't request you guys to expose them this way.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if anything, the new one's got to be better. It's either the same or better.
Look, same shit, different packaging. Let's go.
Exactly.
Yeah, you squirt out a little bit of the glue.
Same great glue, same different packaging.
And then there's a little light on, like a LED on the back of it that...
Is it an LED? I don't want you to get sued for lying.
I'm pretty sure that's an LED just looking at it. And then you shine that on the thing, and it cures in... It says you have to hold it. Erica, you said you have to hold it together for like a minute sometimes.
If you're bonding together opaque
objects, it's resin. Of course this makes sense.
Then you have to hold it for 30 to 60 seconds. If you're just, because the glue can repair things or cure things. If you're just doing that, then I don't think you need to do it for as long, because you just put the glue on. Yeah, it's only for 5 seconds. And
I wonder if you could draw with this, like a 3D printing pen, because they have 3D resin printers that cure similarly. I wonder if you could draw a object out of this by curing, and it'd be really tedious. I'm sure.
You did it. Oh, wow.
Because you have to do 2 steps. So you have to push it in to puncture, and then you have to undo the cap so that you can use the glue.
Yeah. Okay. So Erica's going to take a battery and a very small binder clip, which we'll show on screen in a second.
And this isn't going to explode on her, will it?
No,
it'll explode in her.
No, I'm talking about the battery. You're all putting chemicals on it and shit.
No, it's just resin. It's okay. Not. I mean, it shouldn't. Maybe we should do it on the...
Please be careful when using the glue. If you get it on your skin or your eyes, it will instantly bond them.
Yeah, so to protect Erica, we have some expired condoms. We don't have any
Is she actually going to put those on?
What packaging that is.
So she's going to use expired condoms to protect herself since they won't protect her.
I thought you said spare condoms.
No, expired.
You said expired. You kept on saying expired.
Like 14 days ago. Okay.
Expired condoms.
Oh, no, sorry. 2014.
Okay. I was like, they're probably okay.
Are those made by Skull? The chew?
Wait, this one's
skin.
These are still
that
good.
Makes a little bit more sense, doesn't it?
Some of these
those are good.
Yeah, these are 2019. I don't want to waste these on your fingers.
Well, keep it in your pants.
If you'd like to sponsor us, men and women have enjoyed your condoms.
Lifestyle condoms.
Whatever.
I did an ad campaign for them once.
I specifically like the skin ones.
It was
they
not
have
good.
the right amount of lube.
But that wasn't my fault.
Stop. They're not sponsoring us 2014. Yet. Stop complimenting them.
I like the blue.
Okay, we need to get this show on the road.
So while Erica's doing this, I feel like Darren could tell us a story.
Aren't they all lubricated?
Yeah.
What are you talking
Where do you think
about?
I got an unlubricated condom? You got the same condoms as me. Okay, you're going to have to use a good one too. So I guess, double bag it if you need to.
Listen, babe, this isn't going in your body. It's going on your fingers. So let's
I feel like I might
But
help
her fingers will go in her body later.
My hands.
That's fair.
Well, you're going to, rather than having resin all over your hands.
Why are you one per finger?
No, that's too many. I want to do
let's
two
get the
or
full
three.
view here.
God.
That's called a fuckboy glove.
She's gonna
when it's one per finger.
Give someone a prostate exam right now.
Richard, I volunteer you.
No, thank you.
Yeah, with a duck bill.
Isn't that how they do prostate exams?
That's how they fist people.
I mean, I've never had a prostate exam.
I have actually.
Aren't you
I've had my prostate.
I'm trying to do the review.
Well, I've had a nurse's finger up my butt.
A few years yet.
Okay.
So
I don't remember what the point of it was.
It says we just need to squeeze the body of the pen to dispense the resin. If gluing two objects together, apply resin to one surface. So I'm going to put it on the battery.
Put it on the battery, yeah.
Should I do the flat part?
I'm going to
don't make it harder.
And then
it's
we're trying to do like the base here.
Yeah,
it's resin. It's not electric.
To prove how strong the bond is. Come on, hurry up.
What is happening?
You need more condoms on your fingers.
And then push switch forward to turn on the light. Okay.
As you can see, this is already quite a complicated experiment. Wait, why are you doing it on that side?
Adam said to make it harder.
Yeah, because
the one with condoms on her.
Well, we have not harder for her, harder for the glue.
Just make it harder.
We got to test that glue is really going to hold.
It's spreading.
That's fine. She can just cure it outside of the battery.
I don't know. Can you do it in the center?
Turn on the light. It's really hard to push the switch.
You gotta cure it. Cure it.
I can't push the switch.
We'll have Richard help.
Ew, you're gluing the table.
Oh, be careful.
Ew,
it's
going on you. It's going in you. No.
Darren, shh. Hold on.
Thing.
You might cause a natural disaster.
Richard has turned on the blue light and is now shining it on.
Oh, that's much
on
better.
the resin.
You want to ASMR it for some of the listeners? Well, you got to say words though.
Hold on, I'm getting there. Now, Erica.
No, I'm not either.
Erica,
I'm counting.
With her hands,
let him do it.
Her fingers inside of a condom, is holding the clip on top of the battery. Richard is aiming the blue light at the resin and is curing. Oh.
Does it have to cure for a minute, or do you just have to
5 seconds?
I'm not sure.
It's supposed to be up to 5 seconds.
But if you're gluing two objects together, they said 30 to 60 seconds.
Oh my god, this is endless.
If you're curing, you just put the glue on and you let it do its thing.
Okay, so shine. Ooh, I smell it. I heard this is smelly. 1 inch of resin for 5 seconds, or until resin is cured. Apply additional resin when. Where's the thing that says it? Oh, here.
Read the
Apply resin to one surface, then press firmly together. Okay, so.
Try to lift it?
Well, you've got to.
It's working.
It's cured.
Oh, I meant like up to the tip of the battery.
I tried that, but it immediately slid off because it was sticky, and so I just put it to the side.
Well, the dog smells it and is out and about now, looking to try to get some delicious resin for himself.
Pretty good.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen,
Camera's
True
coming around
Glue.
in a minute.
You could
Just
win
hang
this.
on there.
Total glue.
Oh, wait, no, that's Darren.
Oh, Total Glue, not True Glue.
Yeah, okay, so this is FiberFix Total Repair that we are testing
Total
here.
glue.
Wait, hold on, it's not on you yet. There we go. A little binder clip is holding up the battery with cured resin.
Can you snap it off?
Shake it around. It still holds.
Try snap it off. Let's see how hard that is. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, it will definitely budge.
We're gonna edit that out.
No.
Maybe you didn't cure it long enough. Let's recure it and see if the bond.
To be fair, the glue is still sticky. It's not completely
it's not cured.
Yet.
It's not cured.
So we didn't do it for long enough.
Okay, but you get the idea.
Oh, it says right here, do not move clip off of batteries before 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty normal, though, that if you were to cure something, like, if you were to cure something and it's sticking to it, you should be able to break it off if you could break off
now
plastic.
You have,
sure.
this undried
so that makes
resin
sense.
in front of you.
Do we have something to wipe off the table?
We have these cards. So maybe you could scoop it off. But I think it's time to move on to awkward story time. Darren, you have a story about concert tickets.
I do. So this
they do their cleaning.
This all started, I believe, in March or early April of this year.
Oh, wait, sorry, I have to interrupt you really quick because we didn't tell people that there's a Kickstarter for this.
Yeah, that's not really.
I thought we did.
Well, we did kind of, but Total Glue, they have a Kickstarter if you want to glue a binder clip to a battery or something, or do something more practical like fix a cable. You can go check out their glue at a link that I'm not going to read because it's long, but it's in the show notes. There's a Kickstarter for Total Glue, and if anything, it is better than what we just tested, presumably, if they made a don't
take the thing off the thing until the glue's dried because it was still wet.
I can honestly say I've never been this excited about a glue in my life.
That could be true.
Do you want me to just go get something?
It's not even really glue though; it's resin.
Shitty.
Yeah, maybe we should take a quick wiping break. Richard, do you need to vomit or anything?
Sure.
Have you? When was the last time you vomited on this show? It's been ages since the old location.
Yeah.
Well,
I could use a good vomit.
All right, good. Well, so we'll take a short break, and we'll be back for Darren's story while we clean up this resin mess that Erica made. And you can go check out the True Glue Kickstarter page by visiting the show notes at 5by5.tv/awkward/220.
You do you. Use True Glue.
Oh, that should be their motto.
I know, that's why I said it. I'll take the 20% royalty per sale.
That's a lot.
Cool.
I'm a shark. Bye. You do you. Use True Glue.
So, go get True... Shit.
Wow.
I was trying to remember, it's not True Glue. So if you want to check it out, go on Kickstarter. You can find the link in the show notes at 5by5.tv/220. It's Total Glue on Kickstarter, and you can, it's already very backed. They're like over 100,000 for a $5,000 goal already, so it's going to happen.
All of you, Total Glue. It can't be the previous tagline because it doesn't work otherwise.
No, it rhymes.
You do you, True Glue. No, it does. That's the only way it works because you're being true to you, so you're using True Glue. But all of you, Total Glue.
You got a better. All of you, Total Glue.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go. Let's.
That wasn't recording.
No, it's recording. Go for it. Wait. Well, now the camera.
All of you, Total Glue. I don't know. It's not good anymore. You blew it. It's over. We're gonna talk.
You know what True Glue is? True Glue is like the next waterboarding.
Oh my god!
What? True Glue sounds like something someone puts in you, and if you don't say the truth, it locks you right out.
Or no, True Glue is
like Erica. They just rebranded. You're gonna ruin it.
To me, True Glue is glue
True Glue isn't the real name.
Yeah, Total Glue is. But True Glue is.
Good. They're good.
That's what I'm saying. Don't.
Why did we start saying True Glue? What
because that makes more sense to me because you're True Glue. It's True Glue.
No, True Glue sounds like a truth serum.
It's glue that fulfills its promise. It's True Glue.
It's like you say a lie, and then your finger gets.
It's not like a half measure glue. It's a true glue.
And then you're just
whereas a total glue, like, what does that mean? Like, it does everything? It doesn't. Clearly,
it just completely glues it.
Oh my
God.
Could this make a desperate housewife happy? No. Could this make?
It might.
Could this make a child who is extremely overweight and teased at school suddenly thin, or at the very least accepting of his body type?
We've got several questions and 2 stories to do today. So
here's my awkward story.
Wait, yeah, what is that awkward story?
Back in March, maybe early April, I was at a belated birthday party, and a person whose name I will call Giovanni tells me, "Hey, I have tickets to go see Blondie on the 27th of July. Do you want to go?" It says to me and Andy, "Do you want to go?"
But did he say, "Do you want to go or do you want to go?"
No, it was really soft. It's like, hey, I have extra tickets to Blondie. Do you want to go? I think he said maybe. Do you guys want to go? I can't remember, but that's important to the story. I said, oh yeah, I think so. Let me check my calendar. I might be in Michigan.
Okay.
2 months later, I get a text. Well, can you go see Blondie and add a man? I said, well, that sounds too good to pass up. I'll go. Yes, I'm in. But I didn't say we're in. I said I'm in. Mm-hmm. Then he said, I haven't told someone whose name I will refer to as Francesca yet. So Giovanni did not tell Francesca. I was like, okay.
What does that have to do with anything?
You're going to find out. Okay. It's like, is this a surprise? What is this? I didn't think about
Francesca, it. Francesca like his girlfriend?
No, Francesca is his roommate. He is a homosexual male. And Francesca is a heterosexual female. Okay. But they have lived together for many years.
I just wanted to know if they were together.
They could be together like us.
They're not domestically partnered, though that would have solved some issues a few years ago, but that's neither here nor there.
All right.
I didn't think anything of it. I thought, okay, whatever. Then middle of this week, I'm thinking, I haven't heard from Giovanni in a while. Like, we're supposed to be seeing the concert on Friday. What's going on? Sure enough, the next day, I get a text. Hey, just wanted to see, touch bases about the concert on Friday. Do you want to coordinate getting over there with Francesca, or should I lift her over? I was like, oh, I'll coordinate with her. And then I was like, wait a second. I should probably find out if he has tickets for Andy as well, and that I haven't been telling Andy he's going to this concert, but there's no ticket for him, which I may have done.
You were telling him, and you...
I was pretty sure, and Andy seemed to remember that he had asked both of us, that Giovanni had asked both of us.
Oh, but it sounded like you just said you confirmed for one ticket, though, when you were talking.
I know, so I was like, better clarify. So I said, hey, just curious, can't remember, was it, do you have a ticket for me or a ticket for me and Andy? Mm-hmm. I don't hear anything for hours. Finally, Giovanni gets back to me with 2 ticks. Okay, so I think, okay, that must mean tickets for me and Andy. Right. Well, so then I call Francesca to coordinate with her.
It should mean that. It sounds like it didn't.
Well, so I call Francesca to coordinate with her. I'm like, hey, so let's talk about getting to Blondie on Friday. She's like, what are you talking about?
It's like, because he hadn't told Francesca.
Tickets to Blondie. We're going. Giovanni got his tickets for Friday. Oh, he told me 8 months ago to hold that date open, but didn't tell me what for and hasn't said anything about it. So I'm thinking, why would you tell me to coordinate with somebody if you haven't told him that it's going on? So then I'm thinking, 2 ticks, does that mean one for Giovanni, one for Francesca, and one for me?
She's not going to tell you.
And so I said, and I was only calling her. I was urgently trying to get a hold of Francesca because I thought maybe she would know. So she was no help. So then I was like, shit, what do I do? So I thought, okay.
Was this like the day of the concert?
Day before.
Okay.
So I was like, oh shit, do I just show up? Do I ask him? Because if I show up without saying anything and he doesn't have the ticket, great awkward situation, great story. But then also that would be irritating because you'd have to go to LA Live and it would be a whole annoying thing. So finally I'm like, okay, I'm going to text him. I'm going to say, look, I'm sorry, I'm still confused. I don't know if it's the heat. I don't know what it is. But do you, just to clarify... Oh, and I said, so I thought... I'm getting ahead of myself. I thought, I know how I'll figure this out. I'll say, how much do we owe you? I just get back $100.
You're like, is that how much the ticket is?
Because we had never discussed how much this thing cost.
Right, but that could be one ticket.
So I thought, shit, if this is one ticket, so if it's one ticket for $100 and he has 2 tickets... If he does have 2 tickets, I'm not paying $200 for something that I would not have gone to go see, probably on my own. So then I'm like, shit, I just have to flat out ask him, like, again.
I don't know why you didn't.
So I specifically said, I don't know if it's because of the heat or if I maybe had a stroke or whatever, but I'm still confused. Do you have 3 tickets total or 4 tickets total? He finally responds with 4 tickets total at $50 each. Oh. However, the fact that he didn't...
Why didn't he just do that?
I don't know. Why did he say 2 ticks? $100. And why did he not tell Francesca? Who apparently...
I didn't tell her.
It was a birthday gift for her.
Right. It sounds like it was a surprise.
And then she was pissed off with me for spoiling it and telling her how much it was. And then she was being all weird because I was 5 minutes late to meeting her at the train station.
Did he understand that? I mean, like he told you to coordinate with her, right?
Yes. What were you supposed to
So was he mad that you did it too soon?
He wasn't mad at all about. He didn't utter a peep about anything.
This doesn't make any sense.
Did you forget that it was a surprise?
He essentially passive aggressively let me do all of the organizing for the event for him. Isn't that weird?
That's really weird. Yeah.
It's a good awkward story, right? Because I was like, I don't know what to do.
Weird.
I don't want to bug you. I don't want to come across like I don't know. But like, this was the worst planning I've ever encountered in my life.
I think to him, it was very obvious that when you were like, when he said, "Hey, do you and Andy want to go?" and you were like, "Oh yeah, I'm in." He was like, "Oh, I'll get tickets for you and Andy."
But he never said it explicitly like that. In fact, after that very first event months ago, Andy was like, "That was a really weird way he asked us, wasn't it?" Like, this has been weird for months.
But I think like part of it is like him just being like, "Oh, obviously they're both going. I have 2 tickets. It's $100. You know, like all this is very obvious." But the weird part is that he's like, "Oh, but I haven't told this person," which is the whole reason we're going to the show. "Oh, but you should coordinate with her," and then be totally hands off about any of it when it was like his idea.
And not mention it to her.
Or not tell you like how much each ticket was before buying them for you.
Because don't you think it's assumed that if you say, "Hey, do you want to coordinate with this person?" that they know they're going to an event?
Yes, obviously. Otherwise, why would you coordinate it with them?
Or at least say, like, they don't know what it is, but can you coordinate the travel?
Then that would be weird. They should just coordinate it
This feels like
themselves.
deja vu to me for some reason. And I don't remember why, but I feel like I had I didn't happen to me, but I think someone told me a story about having this similar kind of problem. It's just really weird that why would you make it harder on yourself? I feel like...
I don't know. Anyhow.
Well, that's how a lot of people are like that. Like my dad especially is like that. Like I'll ask him a question. I'll text him a question like, should I meet you at the party or do you want me to go to your place? And he'll say yes. And it's like that.
Right.
That doesn't answer the question.
I wonder if I was thinking about your sister, who I will leave details out about. But there was when the whole thing with Nico coming to stay with us, Richard's little cousin or nephew. That was like she brought it up like a long time ago. You said,
yeah, she texted me asking like, "Oh, hey, Nico wants to go stay with you for the weekend or whatever. When are you available?" And I said, "Well, I can work that out. Just let me figure out what dates are good." And then she texted me later and she was like, "Are you picking him up?"
Oh my god!
I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Well,
I was like, "We never coordinated."
When are you picking him up?
Oh yeah, she said, "When are you picking him up?" or something. Well, and I was like, "Well, we never coordinated anything." I was like, I haven't figured it out. Sorry, I'll figure it out later or whatever. And then like I give her dates and then she
apologize to her for reacting that way.
And then she just does. I don't know what I said exactly, but so yeah, but yes, it's kind of the same situation where they assume there's information there that there isn't information.
Actually, I know why it's deja vu for you, Adam, because you've done that to me before.
I have?
With the scheduling of me being on the show, where you just assume that I'm coming, but giving me no details.
Oh no! Well, I did. I get
last time when you were sure he hadn't texted you.
No, and he hadn't.
I thought
we confirmed that.
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah, I don't think that's happened.
That's why it's so familiar.
No, it was that last time.
No, that's not why. But But it did happen last time you were on that I thought I had told you the correct time and I had told you the wrong time or didn't tell you a time. I don't remember which. So but I was pretty sure I did it.
It's water under the bridge. What's not water under the bridge is
But I understand that was my mistake and it was a mistake.
Yeah.
There's a big difference there.
There was a good 24-hour period where I was like, I don't know what the fuck is happening with this thing and I don't really feel like figuring it out because it should not be this complicated to let someone know that I have 2 tickets for you at a certain price.
Yeah.
And that you need to...
Because in my case, I'm usually communicating the show information to multiple people. So I tell someone and I think I told someone else. And that happens all the time.
Sure.
But this person didn't tell anybody.
Kind of talked to me.
Yeah.
And it was going on for months.
I don't know what would be confusing.
It's generally weird when, because like I and most people I know don't do this, but when someone is like, hey, do you want to go to a show and doesn't say how much it is?
Oh, I know.
I think that's really insensitive when someone is like, hey, I have an extra ticket to the show. Do you want to go? And
like, that sounds like it's free.
Right. And I'm
that's
not necessarily going to assume it's free. But, like, if they make it sound that way, and I'm like, oh, maybe, what date? And, like, we're talking, and then I get to the point about the price, and they're like, oh, it's $88 or whatever. I'm like, why wouldn't you lead with that? Because then I'm usually
because they want you to say yes.
Yeah, and then I'm usually like, no, like, sorry. But it's kind of like, I've been in so many situations where, like, you're buying tickets together, and, like, the person will be like, okay, these are all the different price points. Like, let me know what you're comfortable with, blah, blah, blah. Like, why is it so hard for someone who already has the ticket to be like, this is how much it is?
You just got to ask up front. Is this a free ticket or
I mean, I never confirm until I know, but like I had someone be like, oh, hey, I'm going, it was like some movie screening or something at LACMA. Like it was not something that should be expensive. And he was like, oh, it should be really cool. I have an extra ticket and I haven't found someone to take it yet. So I was like, oh, that means that he's selling it. And I was like, like pretty much in, and then I go, how much? And he was like, it's 125, and I was like, oh no.
Well, so
definitely not.
That's why you haven't.
I'll tell you a great story of that ilk years and years ago, and I'm going to use real names because these people should know how awful they were.
Is it a quick story? Because we got
very, 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 very quick.
Okay.
My friend Miles was in Comedy Sports. He was performing on New Year's Eve, and he's like, "Hey, my parents, they have an extra ticket to give, like that they need, like someone couldn't take. Do you want it?" I was like, "Sure." So I go down there. I go to the thing, and I said to his dad, "How much do I owe you?" Thinking he would say, "Oh, don't worry, it's free." I was just being polite.
Sure, you don't.
He looks at me straight face, goes $100.
Wow.
And I started laughing. I was like, that's funny. Really, how much? $100. So this man's father, I was like 22 at the time.
Oh,
made me give him $100 to see this, and I don't want to go see shitty improv. Comedy Sports isn't always shitty.
How do you even charge $100
so expensive
for
it's actually
improv
usually good,
show?
but
Probably because New Year's Eve.
Because it's New Year's Eve, you can charge a shitload of money.
Did you get a drink or something?
No, and I didn't enjoy myself.
Well, that was a given, but it was. It's like what? How do you invite somebody to something like that and expect them to pay $100 or $100? I was going to say 120 for some reason. Expect them to pay that much money, and like you were young. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess
was young and innocent, and I was taken advantage of.
Maybe we've grown up with some benefits, but generally speaking, it's my understanding that if a parent invites a young person,
my dad was like that.
He would.
When I was younger, Kay and I used to go to movies with each other's families a lot, and every time I would go with their family, they would usually be the ones like paying for my ticket and stuff. But whenever Kay would come with us, my dad was like, "Okay, do you have the money for the ticket and stuff?" Like he would never pay for any other person's
Your dad's
child.
very cheap, though.
Yeah,
or frugal. I think he'd prefer.
This was a shock to me. This was an utter shock, and I'm still devastated. Like 13 years later.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with it, but that should be it shouldn't be assumed when you invite somebody to something. How much it's going to cost them should be up front.
You should say, "Hey, do you want to go? The ticket's $100."
Yeah.
If you don't say it, I'm sorry to tell you, Olga, that you're paying. It's free. Like if you don't give someone a price, it means it's free.
Well, especially if you don't do it until the day
of.
Yeah.
Because that's shitty.
Yeah, I mean, like, granted, there is something that you did ask how much, and you kind of put yourself in that situation, but I'm assuming that was because you were being polite that he would refuse the money, and you'd be oh, thank you.
I was playing that social game
just to get it out of the way
that we've all played, that I was raised to play.
Like, oh, let me give you money for gas.
Yeah, my parents would never have done that.
Yeah,
they
most parents just want to
be
asked, which I find really frustrating. In general. I'd rather just pay, and then some of the time, I can't bring friends. I used to not be able to do this anyway. Bring friends to dinner or lunch or whatever with my family, because then my family feels like, oh, they have to pay for it. And I'm like, you could just not pay for it. You don't have to do that. Let me just tell them up front that this is not a free meal.
Well, that's why I don't generally like going to meals with people's parents, because I don't like the awkwardness of like, oh my God, is this going to be paid
when we had brunch with my parents?
I think your parents paid.
No, they paid, but they were weird.
Were they weird? They were having a fight.
Well, yeah. I mean,
what's new?
Yeah.
So probably answer the questions now.
Yeah.
Well, so you made the story longer. I just want to.
Wait, I want to just clarify one thing about my story, because
you didn't tell.
It was no, the one about my sister.
Oh.
So what happened was she texted me, when are you picking him up or whatever, or Nico wants to stay with you, and I texted her, when is he out of school, and she never texted me back. Yeah. Then she asked, when are you picking him up?
Like,
I thought you left something out.
And I was like, well, we never scheduled it. Okay, so that's what happened. I was just like, that doesn't sound right to me.
Well, Richard, I think we'll save your other story for next week.
No, I'll forget about it and I won't care anymore.
Oh, I already wrote it down, so you won't.
Our question is from either Brett or Dick Pic Dan. Do we not know?
No, he's saying we can introduce him as either. It's the same person.
Okay.
You just haven't heard from him in a while, but you remember Dick Pic Dan.
Yeah, I just didn't remember if he was Brett.
Yeah,
no, he said Brett a long time ago, screw anonymity.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Brett says, hey guys, long time no talk. Brett is a 29-year-old gay man, if anyone's wondering. Well, maybe with the exception of Richard, but it's mainly just been me sending him more unsolicited dick pics. More? After all this time?
Wait, is this the one who's been doing it for like years now?
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, I don't know how long it's been happening.
Oh no, it's definitely been years.
It doesn't. It's not like he sends it to me like every day. Like it happens like once every
with no warning, though?
like every 2 or 3 months it'll happen or something. Yeah, with no warning. It just like appears.
That would drive me crazy. Like
I don't care. Like to me, it doesn't.
So when this came in, I was like, hey, Richard, so Brett's still sending me dick pics, and because I hadn't heard it, he used to share them with me.
Number 2.
He used to share them with me, and you, I don't know if you sounded mildly worried about why I was asking.
No, I wasn't.
Well,
I thought it was funny.
Well, you were.
I was just wondering how you knew.
Yeah, I think that was what implied that.
But
and I was like, because he sent in a message, and I said, I don't care, but if they're interesting, you should share them with me.
What if you're at work with coworkers around you?
Oh, no. If I get a picture from him, like it's usually through Snapchat. If I get a picture from him, I won't open it.
Okay.
When I'm with people in public.
Right.
That's a smart move.
Yeah. Because I know almost know what it's going to be.
Is it weird? I think of Adam every time I pee because we share the whole it leaks after we finish because of a supposedly long urethra or something thing. I legit picture Adam's face and voice as I'm shaking off.
Oh.
I sometimes turn down getting a blowjob because I don't want it to be nasty. One time, though, the husband started sucking my dick a little after I peed. He stopped about a minute in and asked, "Why is it salty?" Facepalm. So just know that I think of you when I shake my penis, Adam.
There you go.
Brett, I guess you missed this episode, but you're clenching the wrong sphincter. I figured this out. And if you do your Kegels and just basically do a Kegel exercise after you pee and hold it for like 3 to 5 seconds, it's not my favorite thing because it's not exactly comfortable, but it stops the pee from leaking out. So there you go.
Thanks, Brett.
I
There's that.
think that's all we need to say about
I don't know.
that.
I guess I don't. I don't know.
A question.
Yeah, I know. I just don't. I don't. He says
Thanks for writing it.
We're all disarmed.
You're officially entered into the competition.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, you could always glue the urethra.
I was just thinking,
but that creates a bigger problem. So maybe not.
Also,
unless you could like 3D print a latch.
As an amateur doctor, don't do that. My
amateur doctor?
Yeah, I'm Dr. Darren.
What, since when?
I thought that was a psychologist thing.
Yeah.
Still a doctor.
Yeah, but where do you think AODS came from? That wasn't like some bullshit diagnosis
I did
you made up.
research into AODS, the discovery of AODS.
What is AODS?
Adult onset Down syndrome.
You knew that.
Make sure you get yourself screened.
He just said he invented it.
For years.
Make sure you screen yourself once a year, or if you're at risk, every 2 weeks. Adam.
Yeah, no, I know. I have it.
We know you have it. You have stage 2.
But I'm proud of it.
That's not bad.
I like it.
4 would be worse.
But I also want. We'll save the dick pic discussion for another day. I have something I wanted to share.
Not a dick pic.
Or a challenge I wanted to share with the audience, but there's something I want to do first. The cock art. Did you forget about this too?
So
we are talking about it.
No, we won't talk about it. We'll talk about it later. Let's go on.
All right, next.
Okay, we have a question, believe it or not, from Dallas.
From the city or from a person named Dallas?
I think
the entire city is writing in.
I think it just pulled the first part of a pseudonym because it was typed in a certain way.
There are people named Dallas?
No, there are, but I remember looking at it in the database, and it was like Dallas girl, except it wasn't. Oh no, it is.
And they have to be hot. With a name like Dallas?
You'd think, but I don't think. I don't want to say anything.
Anyway, she is a woman.
I mean, that's I would say that or something bad happens if they're not hot.
What's Dallas's issue?
Dallas says, I had a friend with benefits. It says FWB, who won't hang with me after I told him this guy was courting me. It's proper. And I thought this was okay because we just fucked, but that's it. He didn't want any romance shit, so it's not like he was pining on me or whatevs. I'm not even fucking this other dude yet. Like, WTF.
Wait,
So what happened is
friends with benefits.
That was hard. That was a hard one to read.
She's been courted by someone else who she doesn't even know she's interested in or not.
Why is courted the word?
Because nothing's happened.
I love that she
No, I know, but like, why is she saying courting?
Because she's from the South.
But she uses such like a fancy term, and then goes like, "But I'm not even fucking this
and she's
dude."
like, "Whatevs."
Whatever.
So
Fuck you.
I guess it does set the contrast between fucking and romance.
Well, she's a Southern girl. She's a Texan, right?
And
she's from
now
Dallas.
the FWB is freaking out and he won't fuck her anymore because he's like, "Oh, you're being courted by someone else," and she's like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Well, maybe he wasn't as happy being a friend. Maybe he thought it was more.
But he probably thinks like, oh, she's gonna be fucking this other dude. I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah, maybe she doesn't want his smegma in
maybe
in
he
her.
feels like he's not been taken seriously.
He doesn't want.
It's not.
Why would just be like?
It's just the FWB.
As a FWB,
dude, WTF? You just need to ask
maybe
him
he
that.
thought, oh, this is gonna be a regular thing we have. You know, like we fuck each other, whatever. There's nothing else happening, but I don't want her to be like in a relationship with someone that's weird. So I'm gonna step away.
Either he has hidden feelings, or he thinks he should just be able to fuck women without ever having to reciprocate in any other way, and she might want more than that, and he's threatened by it. Either way, that's not really great.
Well, I'm not faulting him in this situation because
You think it's the latter?
No, I don't think it's the latter.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because
I'm saying it's not really good.
She and this guy are fucking. Now she's possibly gonna be in a relationship with some other guy, and he's like, I'm out. Like, I'm done. Like this is only
time with her.
Friends. Okay, so what?
Well, I mean, that's kind of it. I guess if they hung out before and they were friends.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't know though.
Well,
but I think when you introduce,
why would she care then?
When you introduce fucking into most relationships, that's gonna ruin the dynamic.
Yeah.
I guess I think she is like, I'm fucking this dude.
Keep dating them.
Why won't he fuck me anymore? And he's probably like, oh, because you might be entering a relationship. I want to fuck someone who's not attached to anyone. I'm just gonna step away.
Yeah, I guess we should get the details on that, or you should, Dallas, because depending on the situation, like if you were friends before and now he doesn't want to be anything,
different. That's
shitty.
Different. Yeah.
And then you should ask him, like, if you have feelings, let's talk about it. If you don't have feelings, then what the hell is going on? But if you weren't friends before, then in that case, then he's just going back to the way things were, which makes sense.
And potentially being respectful of this other guy, maybe, if we want to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, or maybe he just doesn't like to double dip. Who knows?
Yeah, but if he was a friend and he's like, oh, we're not even going to hang out anymore, then that's definitely shitty.
I mean, I think you're all shitty. You all sound like awful people.
Us?
Who, us?
No,
everyone in Dallas?
No, Dallas.
Okay.
And her circle.
We don't.
Why?
I do.
I could just tell. There's something you know how much I hate colloquial grammar and too casual. Courted. I just feel like she's upset me deeply. She's upset me deeply because I am thinking I'm going to get this question about courtly love and like the right avenues of pursuit and maybe asking a parent's hand just to even date her or sipping a sweet tea on a porch, and I get like, yeah, but I'm fucking him.
She's not a debutante.
He is licking me deep
That doesn't
down.
sound like he's doing any licking.
No, that's the thing.
You'd be very dangerous with an infinity gauntlet.
I would just why?
Well, just you're like, you don't
Get
like
rid of
Dallas.
Yeah. No, Dallas, aloha. I think you're probably probably great. I just don't understand you. You just want your cake. She just wants her cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
She wants to fuck.
No, that's exactly
she wants to fuck a bitch and have another bitch. And by bitch I mean two men. Mm-hmm. Like men can be bitches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you.
But what I'm saying is like I just feel like she's like I want to also have sex with this guy. Like, and maybe she's not interested in the guy who's courting her.
I think
maybe
she doesn't know if she's interested, and it was just like a mild like.
So she's like, oh, this guy's trying to court me. Like, what? Also, what if she's to like FWB was like, oh my god, this guy's trying to court me. Let's totally fuck. It's like weird. Just be a person. Just act like a human being. It's like our old friend who never writes in after I shamed him for saying he couldn't help himself by fucking his coworker. Bobby was his name.
Yeah,
years ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Yeah, we haven't heard from him since
and then he made some comment like, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't be. Like I should be able to help myself. It's like you don't have to fuck anything that moves just because it's moving. You don't, ladies and gentlemen.
On that note, our next question is...
I really killed the mood, didn't I?
No, but I also don't think that she shouldn't be able to fuck whoever she wants to fuck.
Were you on that note, Erica? Were you on
she should be in...
No. I just mean like...
read that note about the next question.
She should save her...
On that note... our next question.
Yeah, but then Richard said something.
Yeah, but then it was like that note just wasn't there anymore.
She can fuck who she wants. It doesn't mean that people have to fuck her.
She's not even trying to fuck multiple people. She's just made a comment about someone courting her. She may not even want to fuck him.
So she says, why are you believing her over me?
I was saying that because
you're not Dallas.
Thank God.
I was saying that because Darren said stop fucking people or something.
Yeah, I didn't say stop fucking people.
Maybe the guy wanted an excuse to not fuck her.
I did not say
multiple people.
I did not say stop. I did not say stop fucking people.
What does Me Too have to do with fucking?
Yeah, what do you know, misogynist, about Me Too?
This got too complicated. Next question.
Because just because we're in the Me Too era,
no, you're done. You're done. You're all done.
We're not in the Me Too era. We're in an era of people being insane.
Next question.
Calvin, a 33-year-old heterosexual, says,
"I'll believe that."
I have an ordinarily good boss, Victor, who's tough but fair. Can't complain until now. I work at a shirt designer that prints trendy catchphrases with fun fonts. I'm a writer there.
I'm sure.
By the way, this actually matters. Business is good and the company is growing. We hired a new writer last week with one more slot open still. We interviewed this guy, Elliot, who was a badass. I think this guy was better than me at this, to be honest. Everybody loves him, and the only thing that comes up from us writers was that Sarah thought one of his sample ideas that we asked candidates to bring in was a little sexist. But even she was the first to admit that we print those sometimes, and it was about some shit Trump said, so everyone gave Elliot a pass. Except Victor. Victor let us all talk about the guy for 20 minutes and change like he usually does before acting like a dad and summarizing our opinions before giving his. Except instead, he passed around the copy of Elliot's resume that he brought in and asked us all to smell it. There was no denying that it smelled like cum. We all knew it right away. I don't know if Elliot accidentally jizzed on the resume the night before and it dried up, or some old jizz from the car got on it.
From the car?
Oh yeah, you know, like that car jizz he carries around.
I read that earlier and I'm like, oh yeah, that happens.
Like, we're never going to know what happened, but Victor just shut it down. He won't hire the guy because it's unprofessional. This is unfair, right? One of us could have rubbed one out in the bathroom earlier and got some leftover jizz on it for all anyone knows. How is everyone getting jizz on stuff so easily?
But wouldn't you see the stain?
Yeah.
Go on.
Not if it was just like a film.
You think that guy's going to admit it now? He'd get fired. Maybe Elliot would replace him, but then we'd still have a position to fill. HR doesn't give a shit about this, just thinks it's funny. So you got any ideas how to get this guy on our team?
I
think talking to my boss will get me in trouble with Victor. And Victor's a cool guy most of the time. I don't want to fuck things up at work, but damn it, if this is not an injustice.
Well, can you make paper out of cum trees? That's the question.
Well, there's that.
I don't think
they're
going to give off that smell.
Erica and Adam, I'd like to enter into the evidence when we were at BLD, God rest its soul.
Oh, I forgot about that, yeah.
When I had to tell the waiter politely that my water glass smelled. What did I even say? Has an odd odor, is that what I said?
But it was cum.
It was. He knew it was cum too, because it was in West Hollywood.
It's bleach. It's the way bleach dries on certain things, and there's a lot of bleached paper, like bleached white paper.
That's what I was gonna say. It's probably just the smell of the paper.
Maybe he bleached it himself the night before but what if he worked? What if he works in a restaurant and it was in there?
Maybe Elliot was bleaching his asshole, and the smell got into all his papers.
What are his previous jobs? I mean, you shouldn't judge someone because they had a smelly resume. I mean, that's for sure.
And you should not assume it's cum from his car.
Well, everyone assumes
leftover cum from
his car. It's just the car jizz that got on it.
Well, does this guy's personal biases is that people are always jerking off in the car or fucking in the car, and cum is getting all over a car, and therefore cars are covered in cum.
And so it'd be very easy to get it on the resume.
Get it on your resume. There's logical holes in a lot of that guy.
What were you gonna say?
So this guy sent in a physical resume, or it sounded like they were working together already.
No, he came in for an interview.
And they asked him to do samples and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So he probably brought in a physical resume. Yeah.
I'm curious about the fun fonts that they work in. Do you think he means Comic Sans? Because that's not fun. Or Papyrus is not fun.
He did put it in quotes, so it could mean
not fun.
That's so much fun.
Sand, not fun.
But so why do you need multiple writers for this?
Do you remember the wine cum?
What?
Or the cum wine?
No, I don't remember the cum wine.
We were at Whitson's game night, and someone was like, I think my glass smells like cum, and they passed it around, and it was distinctly the wine.
Mm-hmm.
Did he say
that sounds kind of familiar.
Did he then say that was the weirdest party he's ever been to?
No, because there's one. I remember I have a picture of that.
He wasn't there at the weirdest party he's ever been to.
No, we were there.
We were there.
Yeah.
Well, no, he said it another time at a game night. I have a photograph of it. I don't remember what it was, but I have a photograph of him red from laughter. Because he said it was the weirdest thing that he's ever experienced, and then I took a picture of him to remember
a step up
it
from just the weirdest party.
Oh, yeah.
Weirdest
I guess,
thing ever.
Yeah. I know he said that a lot, though.
Anyways, sulfites, maybe? The combination of sulfites in the bleach in the paper?
Look at you bringing the science today.
I just think, who wrote in? What's his name? Dallas?
I'm not alone.
No, that was
I think Dallas, too.
Dallas wrote in the preview.
Calvis. I think Calvis you shouldn't just assume, all of you shouldn't just assume that because it smells like cum that it's cum.
Yeah.
I know that's like a simple like A is A kind of situation there, but like...
who don't live in Los Angeles don't realize how many things
if it's going to be a duck, it has to look
like
and quack like a duck.
Exactly.
Whereas if it smells like cum, but you don't see it, then it's, ghost cum probably.
No one is going to take like a cum squeegee and evenly distribute their cum over a piece of paper so as to show no stain. And even then, you wouldn't know what the concentration is, so it might dry in a weird way that you get like a marbling, a cum marble texture.
Yeah, and if it's Carges, then it would probably just be on the edge.
Yeah, and that would also be dry, so it's not going to stick.
I'd like to say that if you guys want to hear more about our conversations about cum and how it maybe it can be in a drink, you could dig deep into the archive, correct?
Yeah, I think episode 4 or 8.
4?
No, because I think 5 and 6 were the Scientologists.
It's 4 or 5.
Former Scientologist.
Well, it's a great interview with Maitre Paneer, and then we discuss Ricard Gagne, whatever his name is.
Ricard Gagne.
Yes, sweat. And Maitre Paneer, exactly. And
it's in episode 4, Cooking with Cum.
I think we had a very thoughtful. We had a very thoughtful discussion about.
I don't think Calvin wants more cum in his life. I don't think that's what he's after.
Yeah, but he might want more cum in their life.
Yeah, but he could get this book and be like, this is a book with cum in it. This is a resume that smells like cum, but it's not probably like take these arguments to Victor and say, listen, for X, Y, Z, and probably more than that. I don't think that his resume has cum on it. He's a very good candidate otherwise, you would agree, right? So we should give him a chance to explain the situation. Now, that's really awkward and bad. If you can convince Victor to do this, to just hire the guy without ever bringing this up in this way, that would be better. But the thing is, if you bring it up with somebody else, you do endanger your job or cause a problem for yourself, most likely, because then you're going around your manager or boss or whatever. However, if he brings it up, if you can convince him to bring it up, then Elliot then knows why he may not be hired. And if it's because he was denied due to a cum-scented resume when he did not scent it with cum, that I believe would create a legal situation in which he would be in the right. Because if he's denied work because of something that he definitely didn't do, he could have forensic testing done on the resume.
Oh my god!
I'm not saying that this is what should happen, but he could prove that it's not cum, presuming it isn't.
I don't think the burden of proof is on the cum here. I think this is
exactly.
More
that's the
people's assumptions that are a little strange here.
Cum assumptions.
This is an interesting place to work, that it's okay to bring up in a meeting that something smells like cum.
I thought that too, but then I remembered my first job out of college, and we used to watch porn together, and it was part of my job.
What was this?
We had to decide if it was appropriate, and we had to determine whether or not a woman squirting eels out of her asshole, which I found out yesterday is now a meme.
Oh.
I did not know that this was now a famous video that we allowed on the internet. This is partially 1/6 my fault. Although I voted against it.
Or your contribution.
Yeah, but it was like it was a world record. It was like these weird world records, and one of them was how far a woman could shoot eels out of her butt.
Like multiple at the same time?
I think it was just one. It was like how far an eel could get shot out of your butt, but there were multiple eels.
I see.
And it wasn't really gross. It was just weird. It was. I mean, like it was very clean, so it was just kind of hard to wrap your head around why this was even happening. That was about as far as it went. But that, and you didn't see an asshole or anything. It was from a side view, so they could have faked
alive?
it. Yeah, and they looked alive, and they were alive like later when they brought the camera over.
That is animal abuse, and I'm going to call PETA on you.
Well, call PETA on Japan. I think it was from Japan.
Oh, well, PETA doesn't go to Japan because they wail.
But that was something that you're doing as a requirement of your job versus someone just being like, can you smell this resume? It smells like cum.
Yeah, but we said stuff that was inappropriate a lot of the time, but it was because that sort of thing would come up in our work.
This sounds like a very jocular atmosphere at this workplace.
Yeah, I mean, it's like in a writer's room, you can't really get sexually harassed easily. I mean, you can, but
you can. Excuse me, Me Too. Hashtag Me Too. You're the reason that Harvey Weinstein raped women.
Well, no, this is part of the reason that this is a part of the reason this is part of the reason why sexual abuse is an issue in Hollywood, because there is if you have to be kind of dirty in a writer's room, like that's necessary, but there's not a very
if you're writing Seventh Heaven, you need to be dirty in a writer's room. Hashtag Me Too.
Well, not everything.
Hashtag time's up.
Time is so up.
But that's the
Of course, the misogynist would yawn during a discussion of feminism in the workplace.
Because it's not about feminism.
Okay.
You're
here
saying
we
that
go.
Adam is the reason that Harvey Weinstein is an asshole.
You too.
And that is not helping the conversation.
You too. Oh, but I did have something stuck in my craw, if you will.
But it's true, Erica. I did it all. I planted that seed in him long before I was born.
Mm-hmm. The term badass. That's used. That is used in a positive light, correct? But to me, a badass is like someone who their asshole doesn't work. From an objective beauty standard, I don't think a cottage cheese ass is very attractive. Although I think it's really hot.
I feel like this is something I would say.
No, it's gross, but oh yeah.
You're being very literal about it.
Cottage cheese ass.
Need to go.
Oh, someone with a lot of cellulite.
Okay. Is everybody else today? What is happening?
I have to leave.
No, but it's just a badass. Ooh, that person's
It's not
badass. That person's a badass. But it's like a badass is it smells like shit all the time. It leaks.
No,
it's a badass.
Bad as in
that
good.
person's a badass.
I literally spent 12 hours researching slang yesterday and categorizing it. And badass is an official slang term for cool.
I know that.
I can source it. And so,
but why?
Bad used to mean good.
Yeah,
nothing is literal anymore.
Yeah, bad is it explains bad as in the context of good, and then a derivative of that is bad.
The deliteralization of language in non-abstract or artistic terms is dangerous because then it removes meaning from things. When we have no meaning, we can just put whatever fact we want.
But when you change the word literally to mean not literally, anything
not to get philosophical here, guys.
Let's talk about that one because I was really upset about this, but it's the truth, and the truth matters.
Does it?
It literally has been defined as literally and figuratively for a very long time. It's not something that just happened. It's been like that for...
But those are opposite meanings.
But it was used that way but it's defined as literally means literally, but it also means figuratively when exaggerated, when used in an exaggerated context. It is incorrect to use literally to mean figuratively in a normal context. And that's still the case.
Like if you're saying hypothetically, you wouldn't replace it with literally.
Yeah, if I said I literally just shit my pants right now.
But you didn't.
But I did not shit my pants, and there was nothing that would indicate that what I just said was exaggerated, that would be an incorrect use. And it still is.
Good.
So it has to be used in the exaggerated sense.
This conversation is literally killing me.
Is it?
But it's nowhere near.
It literally is killing you.
Well, I don't think it's
literally dying.
Killing you, though.
Are you literally dying? I mean, we all are since we've been born, theoretically.
Mm-hmm.
What's last question?
Yeah, thank you.
You're reading it.
Oh, we're still doing another one. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
This is the musty puss.
Someone's badass put me off a little bit. So
yours.
Well, here's a musty puss to get you back on.
I'm not a badass. I have a good ass.
It well,
just fine.
The 29-year-old woman Marina writes, "Aloha, coworkers. I bring a question for Erica today, unless you also have another girl guest. My boyfriend won't go down on me, but before you get mad at him, don't, because I have a smelly pussy. It's no dead rat's nest, though it does smell old or musty." You have a smelly pussy?
No, I said I have a pussy. I was explaining why it's for me.
Oh,
I get why it's for you, but
also
it's just a weird comment
hint of, I think that means hint of sour fruit. Last guy I dated got off on it, so we both got off. I like the new boyfriend better, but missed the cunnilingus. My gyno didn't smell it. She thinks it's hypochondria, and I may have a couple of incidents to make her think that. My boyfriend smells it too, though. I wash. The boy still smells it in the shower. I'll make an appointment with another gyno for a second opinion, but you got any ideas for now? Thanks.
Before you say anything, how does a gyno diagnose a malodorous vagina?
Oh,
I have an idea. I hope this is not what happened to her, but
she would know a bacterial smell. Not you, literally. Or did the dog just wake up?
Erica,
if the gyno, because yes, a gyno would basically you would say, oh my. Because, I mean, vaginas smell very easily, right? It's a trap for warmth, and we self-lubricate. So that her vagina would smell from time to time is not weird. That it would smell after a shower is weird. It should not smell after a shower. It's just
like 5 minutes after a shower, you get some sweat in the area, so there could be like a smell.
Super smelly. It would still be appealing to like a guy.
I don't think it would be a vagina smell. It would be like, sweat folds, accumulated sweat smell.
Right.
Like that could happen in 5 minutes.
Yeah, but it shouldn't have like an odor that's like so unappealing that he wouldn't want to go down on her after 5 minutes out of the shower. But what's even weirder is that he's smelling it in the shower. Like that definitely shouldn't happen. So I have heard something from a friend of this happening.
Name names.
Where she had a tampon in, went about her business, 8 hours passed, which is when you're supposed to change the tampon, put in her tampon, and then went about her life. The period ended.
She left her tampon in there.
Yeah, so the period ended. She continued living, had sex.
She continued living? Thank God.
Like living normally, right? Okay. Acting normally. And then she'd go to the bathroom, like pull her pants on and be like, my vagina really smells. Like, what is that? And then after a month, when she was about to get her next period, she realized that there had been a tampon up there the whole time. So whether she showered
so this actually isn't you.
No, it's definitely not me.
Yeah, it was like, why are you hiding some information about your vagina?
Of toxic shock syndrome, so I never even sleep with a tampon in me.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Like, how did she not get that?
Get what?
Toxic.
Oh, I don't know. I think she got lucky because it's not supposed to be in there for more than 8 hours. Right. And she had it in for a month. And it was while she was perioding, so the smell was not only the tampon, but obviously the old blood just sitting there. And she said the first time she went to the gynecologist didn't look up the vag because most of the smells come from like where the labia and like the clit are, like that kind of area. It's not like from deep inside because the vagina is self-cleaning. So like usually the bacterial infection will be, unless you have like a UTI or something, will be like in the folds, like where the yeast will get produced like on a surface level. So they can swab you to see if you have that kind of thing. But if they're not like looking up there, like there could be something stuck up your bag.
But do you think she's had it for years? Because she said her ex-boyfriend loved it.
What if she's had a tampon in there for years?
What if it's a calcified baby fetus?
It could have like fallen apart.
Have we considered that this guy is telling her it smells bad because he doesn't want to eat her out?
No, she knows what it smells like.
Also said it smells, but he liked it.
And she knows what the smell is. So like it's
maybe he was humoring her and this one won't. Maybe he's like, oh yeah,
I don't know. It seems
seems
really unlikely.
Maybe we're playing into their whole fetish where they just people talk about how bad her vagina smells, so they'll get really turned on.
I mean,
have you ever considered the level of manipulation? So. Like, I wouldn't put it past Dallas.
Marina.
Dallas 3.
Fucking the wharf over here. It's not a good one.
I don't think that the gyno can just say, I can't smell it, because like it's probably not there 100% of the time, right? It might have to do with like if you're
wait. So are you trying to tell me, Erica, that a gyno goes up to the clitoral apparatus and the frontispiece of a vagina and sniffs it? Oh yeah, that smells fine.
They don't really do that though. They don't put their face up there.
They're not going to put their face there.
They're like a foot away, and so it's definitely not like giving someone head. Like it's not the same. So she might just not be smelling it, and it might be further up.
If you asked your gynecologist to smell your vagina because you have had complaints that it smells bad and you're washing like crazy, would they do it? Do you think?
No.
I don't think they would get nearly as close as
you would want.
They'd swab it and smell the swab?
No, they would probably swab it and run some tests to see if anything's coming back on it.
So this is what I wonder. Could a sexual surrogate therapist do it for you? That maybe that's
what they're called.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. We have to correct that.
I forgot.
Oh, we don't remember?
Surrogate therapy. I think it's just not. I think the sexual part's not on there.
They've dropped the sexual part.
Yeah.
In the 80s, it was still called that.
I don't think it was therapy,
maybe. I don't know.
So whatever, the surrogate therapist.
I don't know.
Well, whatever it's actually called.
Yeah.
We're not politically correct on this show.
Obviously.
So a sexual surrogate therapist, whatever they're actually
surrogate
called.
Partner.
Yeah, right. That's it.
Partner. Why don't you hire one, Marina? Right? And have
I don't know if this is something they would do.
Why?
I don't know. We could ask.
Smell it, but tell them I need my puss smelled.
I mean, I think they probably not take that very seriously.
And they wouldn't be able to cure it. They're not medical professionals.
They're not here to cure it.
I don't think she's worried about getting confirmation.
They're just here to test.
Well, they'll probably just say, like, no, you're beautiful, even if it smells, and it's fine.
You might be able to get a test you can do at home and send in if you can't get a gynecologist to take care of it. I don't know why the gynecologist wouldn't just check, though.
You're not supposed to douche.
But that brings back freshness every time.
Wait, maybe douching is causing it.
Are you douching?
Maybe there's
don't
over-douching.
douche.
Does she live?
I was going to say that the other option might be that her pH balance is off in her vag. And that could be from douching or
the
from
ecosystem in her vag.
Using like scented soaps or whatever. No soap in the vag.
Does that happen if so if her pH balance is off, is that due to it being too acidic or too basic?
Well, she said that it's kind of like
definitely sounds
fruit,
like a basic
right?
Acrid. Yeah, she said sour fruit.
Yeah, so it's too acidic.
So too acidic.
Okay. Try taking a Tums.
I've got two.
It alkalizes your urinary tract.
I've got two much more plausible theories. One, her name is Marina. She might live by a marina. Therefore, there's a lot of fish.
What if she is a
fishing.
marina?
There could be a lot of dead fish.
She just is a marina.
She is like the embodiment of a marina.
Yeah, we don't know that
we have Dallas right in.
And let me tell you
we
this.
have the marina.
I tried. They have jelly beans that there's two different flavors that look alike. And one of them's like a good flavor, and one of them's a bad flavor. And you have to like, the game is to like eat one, and then you're like, it's gross. I tried the dead fish flavor. Yeah. It was the most revolting thing I've ever put in my mouth. So if Marina lives by a wharf, by a marina, she could be there could be smell transference. Theory one.
And he doesn't have the smell transference?
No.
Where does he live?
There's no heat trap unless she's rimming him and getting deep into his asshole. Theory number 2, demon possession.
Yeah.
The other
solved.
option.
I mean, you don't even have to explain that.
The other much more valid option, demonic possession. That is like go to a priest maybe, not the cardinal who just stepped down for molesting boys.
Is there like a safe? And I don't want to like encourage this if there isn't, but is there like a safe suppository or something?
A suppository for your vag?
What about
like something that
there isn't?
Could you roll up juicy fruit, a stick of juicy fruit, and put it up there?
You could squirt some water up there gently, and that's about it.
Water.
Yeah, I mean, but a little bit of water and gently, not like I mean, it's same goes for most holes. You don't want to mess with what's going on in there. It has its her balance might be a little messed up.
But
perhaps,
if her balance is off, she needs to find out from her doctor. She can't just start putting shit up there.
I mean, like you could squirt a little water in there in the same way you'd bidet your butthole, but
you're badass.
Yeah,
because it's never clean.
Exactly,
it's a badass.
But other than that, I mean, I talked to a doctor before you do anything too extreme or even like mild.
Her gynecologist doesn't think there's anything
I think
wrong.
she needs to tell her gynecologist, look, I'm sorry that you think I'm being a hypochondriac about this. Can we dig a little bit deeper? Can you go up? Yeah, can you go up the vag and make sure there's nothing up there? Because
go up it with what? A dog's nose?
I don't know how that works.
Fingers.
I'm sorry, you're asking her gynecologist to finger her?
That's how pelvic exams
to find out if it smells.
No, to see if there's anything up there.
Why do you think the majority of gynecologists
Can she check on her own though?
Of course she could, but if she hasn't figured it out, she might need someone to have a medical opinion about it and kind of.
I know of a woman who fished 2 used condoms out of her vagina.
Oh,
is it possible like you could have a bad IUD that started to smell?
Still cum in them?
I don't know if
I don't think so.
I don't know about that part.
It's not going to get all stinky.
There's 2 kinds of IUDs, and the other one I don't remember.
I was trying to think if maybe there's it's
unlikely.
possible.
They're so far up there.
Yeah, it just doesn't.
Could she squat onto
bad breath can start from the stomach and often does. So.
Could she squat onto a lit candle?
No.
Would that help? It would be sexy for her and the boyfriend.
Shove a bag of charcoal up there.
Activated
charcoal. These are not real suggestions, by the way.
Aloha.
Marina.
So much of this podcast requires an aloha warning.
Yeah. Well, I think we've done the best we can with this question.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd rate this show as a mediocre one. Just today.
Oh,
you cannot be pleased. The last 3 times, all you do is shit on it. I thought today, at least with a musty pussy.
You know why?
And
it's
because
I saved this.
I have a bad ass,
so
I have a problem shitting in places. I have a bad ass. I'm a badass.
I have such a bad ass.
No. This has not been a mediocre show. It's called a joke. It's called humor. It's called irony. It's called being.
I'm gonna stop saving questions for when you're on.
Please, but I mean, I do appreciate that there was a musty pussy question because my issue last time when there were no sex questions.
No, that was 2 times ago.
Last time I was fine with it, no?
Last time, no, it just wasn't good enough.
Well, you know what? We should always strive to be better.
It's not Beowulf. I can't make Beowulf right.
Where are the Beowulfs and the Janets of this world?
Well, because it's not my fault. Everyone's become boring. They're afraid to be them.
This woman is being her. She's being a Marina.
Someone didn't get a job because there's cum on the resume.
Yeah, you know what? And now
I think that
now qualifies. He will never apply for another job again once he hears this show. Because he's going to think everyone thinks his resumes smell like cum, and that his car is soaked in cum.
That would be amazing if he listened to the show.
Car jizz.
That would be amazing. I really hope Elliot listens to this.
Who's Elliot?
The guy who
had the cum resume.
The guy who
didn't get hired.
Yeah.
One L.
I remember everyone else's name, but not.
Anyhow, no. This wasn't a mediocre.
What is the guy that starts with a C?
The what?
Who wrote in? The guy Calvin. I can never remember Calvin, but I remembered everyone else's name in that letter.
Let me explain why I gave today's show a mediocre rating.
Well, like give it a number out of 10.
Oh, it's 6. Because
that's fuckable.
I wasn't able to get Erica like incensed and livid.
You know what? I did notice that, and it was nice.
When I can get
so really, your quality has diminished, and your stock is down.
That's true.
Or you grow to thicker skin.
Or you just didn't insult her like at the core like you usually do. You didn't get to the feminist stuff too deeply, for example.
That hurts me a little bit.
I think it was that he was so shocked that gynecologists actually put their fingers up you that he was like, clearly I don't know enough about women to
I thought they used speculums and schmeculums and...
Speculum is to open it up.
Yeah.
And then they put the fingers in?
It depends what they're doing. If you're just getting a pap smear, they just put a little thin stick all the way up there.
And then they scrape you.
Yep. Well, and if they're doing a pelvic exam, they have to feel around.
I hate to break up the party, but we do have to wrap up.
Why?
Bye.
Because Richard's got somewhere to be.
I'm ready to go. He was ready to go.
He has a Dungeons & Dragons live stream to participate in.
Oh, we gotta go.
Is that something that you want to share publicly?
No.
Or...
Oh, I mean, sure. I mean, you can
go
to Twitch and watch us on Venture Ventures. I think that's what it's called.
It's called Ventures?
Venture Ventures.
Venture Ventures.
I'm going to do more research on gynecological examinations so that way I can be prepared for Erica.
You'll just think
next time,
you're not
next time we'll have
research.
We'll have I got a great idea. We'll have a vagina quiz show between the both of you.
Can it be called like a quiz show? Like, is there a...
Sure, yeah, whatever you want.
A quiz show.
Speaking of which, another way to win something... Send us a vagina question to ask Darren and Erica.
Oh, Vagivia.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that is.
Vagivia's good.
Send in a Vagivia question. We will have a special Vagivia episode. And we will find out. We will find out who's the vagina king or queen of this podcast. You can play along at home.
Game on. We're gonna find out.
Based on the amount of experiences I've had with my vagina that I've already shared on the show, I can safely say I am the vagina
But
queen.
as an amateur doctor, I'm supposed to know about these things.
Yeah, especially if it has Down syndrome.
It has a bad ass. I feel like I should know about the front of things, you know?
Maybe we should include ass questions as well, though, so she has, some...
The worst is when...
Why not dick questions?
Genital questions.
Dicks are
No. This is called Virginia night, not...
Vagivia.
Vagivia night.
Okay.
Not...
Okay, we'll start.
Tibia.
Yeah, we'll start. Is that a yogurt?
Geniquiz.
I don't want the dick questions. We have enough dick questions as it is.
All right, fair enough. We'll have Vagivia, and then we'll expand it
sounds
like
a
Cards Against
sweetener
Humanity
derived from vaginal lubricant.
It absolutely does. Someone's going to make that.
Vagivia.
I mean, someone made bread with their vaginal yeast.
For your coffee. There's the tagline. Vagivia, it's for your coffee.
Vagivia, it's for your coffee.
Yep.
Our new sponsor.
For your coffee?
Okay,
it's
guys, guess what? My rating of this show just went from a 6 to
that'll
an
be
8.
our sponsor then.
This was an 8.
Our sponsor
What do we need to do to get the next 2 points? Does Erica have to cry?
I think the problem is the first 40 minutes, first hour and a half was too front-loaded.
It just can't... Well, you front-loaded it.
What do you mean
Your story was the longest part of the show.
We fucking talked about glue for half an hour.
We're gonna go.
14
Thanks
minutes.
For joining us.
Goodbye.
Be back at you for Vagivia night.
Yes.
Bye.
Send in your questions. Send in your stories. Rate us on iTunes. Tell us, and you could win some glue or a blanket or stickers. Or something else if you could think of it. I don't care. We'll give something away, but we have these free products.
So far, Dick Pic Dan is the only entrance, right?
Well,
entry?
Yeah, but that wasn't... He didn't choose that.
Oh, yeah.
Can we enter... What's his name? Who said the word badass and talked about cum paper?
You?
No, that guy who...
Erica, you're holding it in front of... There's a
glue
stick blocking it. You can move it over this way more. Well, now you're off the camera. We'll just go to the everybody camera.
Bye.
Okay, guys.
Remember, the fiber fix.
Bye.
Total glue.
Total glue, not total repair. This is the old one. Go back to the new one on Kickstarter.
Bye.
Love yourself.
Yeah, that too.
Get a diaper if you're a badass.
Do you have a question, story, comment, or whatever for the Awkward Human Survival Guide? We want to hear it. We read everything we get on the show, censored for your privacy if you wish, and might laugh about your problem because tragedy loves humor, but genuinely want to help you out. If you've got something to share with us, even if you think it's stupid, send it in as anonymously or proudly as you wish. You can do all of that at awkward.email. You just go to http://awkward.email. Oh yeah, and watch the videos on YouTube, youtube.com/awkwardhuman. Okay. Bye, everybody.
But are we off?